Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jai Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe. Jai Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram. Jai Nitai Gaurango, Jai Nitai Gaurango. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Vishnupad Paramhans Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shat Śrīmad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvind Bhakti Vedant Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhans Nitya Leela Pravishta His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind Ki Jai. नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय। श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव की जय। श्री श्री सुदर्शन भगवान की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Grantra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 7th Canto, 10th chapter, text number 30. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maivam Vibho Asuranam Te Maivam Vibho Suranam Te Pradeyaha Padma Sambhava Pradeyah Padma Sambhava Varaha Krura Nisargana Varaha Krura Nisargana Ahinam Amritam Yatha Ahinam Amritam Yatha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maivam Vibho Suranam Te Pradeyah Padma Sambhava Varakrura Nisargana Ahinam Amritam Yatha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maivam Vibho Suranam Te Pradeyah Padma Sambhava Varakrura Nisargana Ahinam Amritam Yatha Naivam Vibho Suranam Te Pradeyah Padma Sambhava Varakrura Nisargana Ahinam Amritam Yatha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maivam Vibho Suranam Te Deya Padma Sambhava Varakrura Nisargana Ahinam Amritam Yatha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Naivam Vibho Suranam Te Pradeyah Padma Sambhava Varakrura Nisargana Ahinam Amritam Yatha Shri Bhagavan Uvacha The Supreme Personality of Godhead replied to Brahma, Ma, do not, Evam, thus, Vibho, O great person, Asuranam, unto the demons, Te, by you, Pradeyaha, bestow benedictions, Padma Sambhava, O Lord Brahma, born from the lotus flower, Varaha, benediction, Krura Nisargana, persons who are by nature very cruel and jealous. Ahinam, two snakes, Amritam, nectar or milk. Yatha, just as. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The personality of Godhead replied, My dear Lord Brahma, O great Lord, born from the lotus flower, just as it is dangerous to feed milk to a snake, so it is dangerous to give benedictions to demons, who are by nature ferocious and jealous. I warn you not to give such benedictions to any demon again. Please repeat. The personality of Godhead replied, My dear Lord Brahma, O great Lord, born from the lotus flower, Just as it is dangerous to feed milk to a snake, so it is dangerous to give benedictions to demons who are by nature ferocious and jealous. I warn you not to give such benedictions to any demon again. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. We saw in the previous class how the Lord Brahma was offering prayers, and he is telling, meditation on your form is the remedy to all kinds of fears. So somebody asked the question in the comments, meditation on form of Lord means what? Is it chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Because Prabhupada tells, so meditation means, yes, you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So then Lord Brahma would have spoken by chanting your name. Why Lord Brahma is telling by dhyayato, meditating on your form. Chanting is called kirtanam. That is a different activity than dhyayato, which is meditation. So the understanding is, yes, we have to meditate actually on the form. Dhyayato Vishnum, Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnum. So meditation is very much required. And this kind of meditation should be incessant, constant at every moment without any breakage. And this stage is called Samadhi. And this stage of Samadhi is the perfection of Ashtanga Yoga system, where the devotee without any deviation is able to constantly meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna. And this stage, Srila Prabhupada explains, is the third stage in the Bhakti Yoga. The final stage of Ashtanga Yoga is the third stage in Bhakti Yoga, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho Smaranam. So one is able to come to the point of Smaranam, then that is same as the final stage of Ashtanga Yoga. But this is very important. So when Prabhupada tells chanting, it means when we are chanting nicely, Srila Prabhupada explains, there will be no difference in chanting and meditating on the form of the Lord, because the form will awaken in the heart spontaneously. Just like when Dhruva Maharaj was meditating, Lord Krishna manifested himself because he was very pleased with the devotional service of Dhruva Maharaj. So in a similar fashion, when we are chanting the holy name constantly, then Lord becomes very pleased with our service. And then the holy name manifests the form of the Lord within our heart. So it does not mean that the chanting will stop, the chanting will continue. It will mature so nicely that same holy name reveals the form of the Lord in the heart. And that is called pure chanting. If by chanting the form is not revealed, then it means yet chanting has to be perfected. Otherwise, a perfect chanter, he immediately thinks of the form of the Lord as soon as the holy name is chanted. Rather, he is always absorbed because he never stops chanting or meditating on the form of the Lord. So yes, Dhyayato Vishnu means one has to actually meditate, see the form of the Lord. But it cannot be practiced artificially. We should try to keep the form of the Lord in the heart, but then by chanting holy name constantly, only it is possible to do that. Without chanting holy name in Kali Yuga, it is not possible. So these are various progressive stages. Although this is called 9 kinds of devotional service, But Prabhupada explains very nicely, as these are stages also of devotional service. They are 9 kinds. Either one, two, or more of them can be executed. Or even if a person sticks to one of them, one can make one's life perfect. Simply one of them, each one of them is sufficient. And many times, many are combined together also. Just like when we are doing deity worship. So in deity worship, there is Shravanam, there is Kirtanam, there is Archanam, there is Vandanam, there is Padasevanam. Everything is being involved. So then Prabhupada gives another very nice aspect to it, that how these 9 kinds of devotional service, they are actually stages also. So the first stage of devotional service is, it is hearing or chanting. It is told Jivva Dav, Sevan Mukai Jivva Dav. The service of the Lord begins from tongue. But here it is told Shravanam. So how do we understand this? Yes? Yes. So the beginning of devotional services, chanting, and beginning is hearing, because it is common sense. Yes? Yes, tasting and chanting both. Yes. But unless a person has heard about Lord, how is it possible to speak? One cannot do chanting. So that is why Prabhupada tells Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. This is the principle. But for chanting also, one has to be fortunate. Not everyone can chant. But hearing is easy. Even if one does not want to hear, some devotee will sing Hare Krishna on the street and holy name will fall. He cannot avoid. So this is very easy. But chanting, for this purification is required, not easy. As we know, Valmiki was not able to chant. So chanting to, as when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling, so in Varanasi, the devotees told that these people, they chant Brahma, Brahma, XYZ, but they don't chant Krishna. Why? They will chant Am Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, everything they will chant. But Krishna they will not chant. So Mahaprabhu told, yes, because they are envious. They have envy. Why God? I am God. I want to become God. So the name of Krishna does not descend on their tongue. So thus one needs to be fortunate to chant. It is not so easy to chant the name. But hearing is easy. So beginning is hearing. And when one has heard sufficiently, then the next stage is Kirtanam. Next stage is chanting. If chanting has not begun, that means hearing is not nice. Either one is inattentive in the hearing has not happened properly. Otherwise, if hearing is proper, natural result would be chanting. So similarly, when sometimes devotees tell Prabhu, we have heard lot about preaching. So preaching is also Kirtanam. As we understand, Vayasaki Abhavat Kirtane. By hearing, Parikshit Maharaj became perfect, and by Kirtan, who became perfect? Shukdev Goswami. But Shukdev Goswami, we don't see that he is sitting with Danga Kartal and he is doing Kirtan. What Shukdev Goswami did? He spoke Bhagavatam. So speaking about Krishna is also Kirtan. And singing about his qualities, pastimes, glories, signs, that is also Kirtan. But here, Kirtan specifically is referring to narrating the pastimes, the signs of the Supreme Lord. So that is called preaching. So sometimes devotees tell that, Prabhu, I know that preaching is topmost activity. Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita, nobody is dearer to me than the preacher, but I don't feel like preaching. I don't get the enthusiasm. I don't feel the push. So why we don't feel? Because Shravanam has not happened properly. Otherwise, if Shravanam is nice, automatically second stage is bound to happen. One will preach, one will speak. If we come across anything nice, it's natural tendency to share it to others. Oh, this restaurant is so nice, you visit. They cook so nicely. We automatically, oh, this movie is so nice, please watch it. Oh, you did not see this match. Arey, kya chakka mara. So we naturally like to publicize. That is a natural tendency. So if hearing is nice, that would be followed by automatic chanting. So we just have to focus on hearing very nicely. Thus, Prabhupada tells when enthusiasm is not there, then sit down silently and then in any temple suitable, chant Hare Krishna. So don't worry if it is not there. Just simply sit down and chant and hear very nice. And by this, automatically enthusiasm will develop. All enthusiasm for service comes by hearing very nicely. And then when chanting is nice, then what will happen? Chanting or preaching is nice, then smaranam. Third stage. So in order to come to third stage, so third stage, smaranam. Smaranam means when we are able to remember what we have heard very nicely, when we are able to contemplate on it, that is also called smaranam. So Prabhupada tells if we have heard very nicely that, then we'll be eager to share this knowledge with others and we'll be able to contemplate upon it also the entire day. That means our hearing has been nice. So hearing, chanting, and then contemplation will happen on it. And then form of Lord also will be revealed, smaranam. And then once the form of the Lord is revealed, then what happens? When one is able to contemplate, then next stage, a person engages in active devotional service. That is called archanam, worshipping the deity. And after worshipping the deity, he learns to offer prayers, vandanam. And then after offering the prayers, one becomes qualified to engage in service. Dasya means carrying out the orders. That is next stage. So when people hear sufficiently in the classes, then they start visiting the temple. As we started visiting once we heard the lectures, when we read the books. So archanam is next stage automatically. People will start engaging in worshipping the deities. And then they start offering prayers also. We learn so many prayers, Brahma Samhita, Kunti Marani, XYZ. When we come to temple, then we start offering prayers also to Krishna. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanitaya Cha, Namo Vishnu Padaya. We learn how to offer prayers. Earlier we were simply demanding from Krishna. So now there is next stage. Once we start visiting temple, we learn which prayers to offer. And then after that, what happens? Yes. Then Prabhupada tells that is why there is culture in the temples. When you go to temple, you carry something with you. You donate some money or you give some fruits, flowers to Krishna. So never go to temple empty-handed. Go there and so this is the beginning of devotional service. Otherwise, it is stage of neutrality. I am going to temple. I am very nicely relishing very beautiful darshans, but that is simply the stage of neutrality. There is no actual devotional service. Actual devotional service, Prabhupada tells, begins with engagement in service of Krishna. You do something for Krishna. So just appreciation is also very good. That means chanting, hearing has happened nicely, but then one has to go to next stage. That is called dasyam. Engaging in service of Krishna, carrying out the orders of Krishna. So initially, person engages in some kind of service and then one is very eager to receive the orders. So please give me order. What should I do as we become? So we are just waiting. Prabhu, please give me some service. What service I can do? We are very eager to render service. And then comes next stage, which is Sakhyam. Now what is Sakhyam? How to execute Sakhyam? Friends meet what? What should I do with Krishna? Till Dasyam it is understood. I can carry out the order. Sakhyam is what? How do I serve as a friend? What is serving as a friend? How is it different from serving as a servant? So Prabhupada explains very nicely. Friend means well-wisher, thinking how I can work for the benefit of my friend. Then only it is actually friendship. So when one is eager and one is thinking, not that one is waiting for the orders, that Krishna will give me order or spiritual master will give me order and then I will execute. But promptly thinking, oh, how can I serve Krishna? How can I serve spiritual master? That is called Sakhyam. One is always thinking how to do good to my friend. Friend does not order, do this. We are always thinking, what can I do for my friend? How can I please my friend? What gift should I do? It is the birthday of my friend. How can I gift him? How can I please him? What should I do? This is called Sakhyam. So thus Prabhupada explains, he quotes Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj. that when a devotee works on behalf of Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna, that means when one engages in preaching activity, this is actually called Sakhyam. So when one goes out to preach, one does not await the order. One knows how Krishna will be pleased. Krishna will be pleased when I preach here. So thus when the devotee promptly, actively he seeks preaching opportunity, engages himself in this most extraordinary devotional service, that is called executing Sakhyam. And then what happens? Atmanivedanam. Then one is able to surrender to Krishna. So thus the devotees ask that, Prabhu, how do I surrender? That surrender does not come. When does it come? So Prabhupada explained the process very nicely, very beautifully. So first of all, please hear very nicely. Morning and evening, whatever you are doing, never be too busy to hear. Morning and evening, we must take out time, leaving all other duties aside. So sometimes they say, oh, it is very nice. Prabhus, when they are traveling in car or train, so they are hearing very nicely. So let me also hear like this. No, it is not the fact. The fact is, after very attentive hearing, even while the devotees are traveling, cooking, washing, cleaning, they also hear at that time also. It is extra hearing. So we should not do like that. We should have dedicated time for hearing. Over and above this, Prabhupada has mentioned, you are working in the factory, you keep on hearing. Hearing should be nityam. Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. Otherwise, morning and evening with great focus, we should try to hear. One should never be too busy. Even if one is very busy, one is not able to do deity worship also. Hearing should never be skipped. One is having taste or one is not having taste, it is not important. This is called Bhakti Yoga. Otherwise, it is sense gratification. Bhakti means for the pleasure of Krishna. Sense gratification means for my pleasure. So I may get pleasure, may not get, does not matter. Krishna is getting pleased, so I will hear. I may understand, I may not understand, does not matter. But Krishna is getting pleased, spiritual master is getting pleased, so I will hear very nicely morning and evening. And in this way, with this attitude, the taste automatically evokes in the heart. So when hearing is nice, we will chant, we will preach. When preaching is nice, we will be able to contemplate upon it. So with that consciousness, we will be able to do smaranam. Automatically, we will be able to think of lotus feet. We will be able to remember the instructions. And then we will engage in deity worship. We have to engage. It is very important. Archanam. Deity worship is very, very important. And it is very simple. We can offer little incense, lamp, and water to Krishna. It is very simple. We cannot cook much. Simple thing, whatever we can make. Some fruits we can offer to start with. So deity worship is very simple. But deity worship must be done. Especially for the householders, for brahmacharis, sannyasis, they can travel and preach, but even for brahmachari sannyasis, Prabhupada has not given this thing. But sometimes in traveling Sankirtan party when they are going, it is okay. But especially for householders, Prabhupada told it is very, very important, because deity worship is very important for quick removal of contamination. Householder means so much material gratification, sense objects all around. So deity worship is must compulsory for householders. So then one starts deity worship. And after deity worship, what happens? Very quick purification happens. Then Vandanam, devotee offers prayers. We should take time to offer prayers to Krishna, come in front of the deities. So Prabhupada tells you should memorize all these wonderful prayers Prahlāda Mahārāja is offering, Lord Brahma is offering, and then come in front of deities and then you offer, you sing these prayers. Krishna becomes very much pleased. And then Dasyam, one should be very eager to carry out the orders. Sakhyam, proactively, promptly, one should engage in preaching. That is acting as well-wisher, friend of Krishna. And then Atmanivedanam, one will be able to surrender. Complete revelation of Krishna, absolute truth will happen, and then Atmanivedanam, one is able to surrender. So when Lord Brahma is telling meditating on your form, it actually means meditating on the form of Krishna. When such meditation happens, then person becomes fearless. But all these 9 kinds of activities, all the activities are powerful, important, but Prabhupada explains all are based on hearing. If hearing is not proper, then other activities will not sustain. Deity worship will go away. If I am not having time, oh, let me not read. When I speak of hearing, it means reading, hearing, both. Both are, because earlier books were not there. So only reading word you will rarely find, although it is mentioned. Adhyanam is also in Ashtanga Yoga also. They also should read. Sometimes there are some so-called mystic yogis, they tell I do not read. But the greatest mystic yogi, Kapil Muni, he is instructing, Kapil Muni is instructing Devahuti that you should read. Swadhyay, reading is very important part even of Ashtanga Yoga practice. So reading has always been very important. So primarily because devotees were so very much intelligent, they will simply hear from the spiritual master. So that is why Shravanam you will find. But now the books are given so that even though our memory, our intelligence is less, we can take advantage. So reading, hearing is very important, and quality time, morning and evening, should be taken out for it. On the basis of good hearing, all other activities will sustain. Otherwise, what will happen? As today's day is the testimony, today and tomorrow. So very wonderful festivals we have. Today is Holika Dahan, and very relevant with Prahlāda Mahārāja. So there is this, I do not know what is the origin of this pastime, that Holika, the sister of Hiranyakashipu, she sat with Prahlāda Mahārāja in order to destroy him. But she herself got burned, destroyed by the fire. So we do not know in which Puran it is mentioned, but it is a fact that Prahlāda Mahārāja was thrown into so many difficulties, fire, poison, ice, winds, but he was always saved. So these festivals are meant so that people remember the activities of Prahlāda Mahārāja. They understand, or just see, small boy also, the great demons are not able to disturb. So let me also become a pure devotee of Krishna. So this is the purpose of all these festivals. And then tomorrow they throw colors. Why they throw colors? They remember the pastimes of Krishna. So Krishna was throwing colors along with his mates. So the reference is there for this pastime in the scriptures. So these festivals are there so that a person can become Krishna conscious. But now they are playing mundane movie songs and they are doing intoxication. So people are still celebrating festival, but there is no hearing. So if we also don't hear, we will be externally doing all the activities very nicely. We will be singing, we will be dancing. Initially, we'll dance on bhajans. Then one day we'll think, why bhajan? Anyway, we have to dance. Let me play music, movie songs also. So I was surprised. Before I joined ashram, people were dancing. They were doing intoxication also, but at least on bhajans they would dance. And after joining, because in our ashrams around our place, we don't have such people. We have big temple campuses, but in Mumbai, we got a chance to live in apartments. Then I was hearing of this Ganesha festival and this movie song. How is it possible? Then Durga festival, again same thing. Then Holi also same. On every festival, movie song, I was surprised. I never noticed that. So they would dance very wildly without any proper consciousness, but it was at least a bhajan. But now it is movie song. What is the relationship? So this is the result when we don't hear. So that is why it is very important, the most important activity is to hear nicely. So next verse here. Now Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Prahlāda Mahārāja finished his prayers. Brahma finished his prayers. Now Lord is telling something. What Lord is telling? Mayavam Vibho Suranam Te. Vibho means great person. Ma evam, like this, Asuranam. Sura means demigods, Asura means demons. So like this, please do not give benedictions to demons, because they will only create great disturbance in this world. And the comparison given is Ahinam Amritam Yatha. Just as it is dangerous to feed milk to a snake. When you feed milk to a snake, then what happens? Yes. Its poison increases. And the snake will anyway harm others. So thus it is told, just like fever should not be done. If you give milk to a snake, it will become more poisonous. So in a similar fashion, to those people who are envious, power should not be given. And this is very important because this comparison is given in another important case also. Which another important instruction is given by this example? Chanakya. No, giving milk to snake. Yes. So we discuss, yes, we have to hear. So when we speak to some people that please hear, and after some time they tell, yes, I've started hearing very regularly. And when we ask from whom are you hearing, they tell I'm hearing from this person. So thus it is told, yes, hearing is very important. All devotional activities they sustain on hearing, but this hearing should be from proper source. This is very important. Otherwise, if we do not hear from proper source, then Sanatana Goswami explains it is Avaishnava Mukhodgirnam Putam Hari Kathamritam. Even if we are hearing Hari Katha Amrita, it is compared to milk or nectar. Hari Katha. Very, very nutritious. It nourishes the soul like anything. But if this Hari Katha also it is heard from a Vaishnava, from the mouth of a person who is not a pure devotee of Krishna, then what will happen? It is told Shravanam Nayava Kartavyam, never hear. Why never hear? You will tell. Anyway, it is Hari Katha, it is Hari Nam. What is the harm? It may not be as powerful as hearing from a pure devotee, but what is the harm? It is Hari Katha, Hari Nam only. Let me hear. So it is told, no, it is very harmful. You cannot tell, anyway, it is milk. Never mind, the snake has drank it. No, if it is drunk by snake, you will die. Because the snake drank it, then it is all the properties of, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told about King Pratap Rudra when he was glorified, that he's having this quality, he's having that quality, he's very humble, he's very simple, he is very gentle, he is non-pretentious, he is very advanced, he is devoted to you. But Mahaprabhu told, no, just because he has got this one word, king, attached to his name, all his qualities are gone. Just because this one word it is attached, king. In a similar fashion, just because, yes, holy name of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna, they are very nice. But when it is touched by the lips of a non-devotee, they become poisonous. So it is so dangerous for our consciousness to hear from a non-devotee. So dangerous. It can prove fatal to our spiritual life. Not just small harm, it can be fatal. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has further confirmed this statement. He has told, Mayavadi bhashya shunile hoye sarvanash. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has warned. If you hear from a Mayavadi, then sarvanash, person is destroyed. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is mentioned that this Mayavad Bhashya, the commentary by the impersonalists, could be so dangerous that even very advanced devotee also can fall down. Very advanced devotee also can fall down by hearing such a commentary. So it is so dangerous. So one should be very, very careful about it. And in our family, we are following one such Mayavadi. Very nicely, we are worshipping. And these Mayavadis are so dangerous, sometimes they'll be outrightly Mayavadi. Mayavadi overall, it is dangerous. Why it is dangerous, Prabhupada tells? More dangerous than atheist also. About atheist also it is told, it is better to, about atheists and materialists, it is told it is better to lock yourself in a prison which is set on fire than associating with the materialists and atheists. Lock yourself in a prison surrounded by fire, it's much better than associating with them. But their position is also much better than associating with Mayavadi. It is told. Why? So Prabhupada gives example. Suppose there is an enemy. You know he is my enemy, he is going to attack, so I can defend myself. But if enemy comes in the form of friend, then more dangerous. You are caught unaware. He will kill you without any notice. So thus, enemy in the form of friend is much, much more dangerous and deadly than declared enemy. So atheist is declared, material is declared, okay, we are non-devotees. But these people, they tell, I am Vedantist. They will call themselves Vedantist. They will call themselves spiritualist. They will sit in Vrindavan Dham or Jagannath Puri Dham or proper Dhams they will sit. And then they will wear Kanthi Mala, Tulsi Mala. They will sing and do Kirtan also. but they are most dangerous personalities. They are completely against Krishna, although they will be in the form of devotee of Krishna. So very, very dangerous. So at least if enemy is coming, you are aware, you'll take proper measures to guard yourself. But if friend comes, then you are killed. So that is why the Mayavadis, they are covered atheists. So very, very dangerous. And among the Mayavadis also, there are two classes. One will be actually, yes, they will call themselves Vedanti, Jnani. They will agree, we don't follow the path of bhakti, we follow this thing. But there is another category who call themselves, who present themselves as devotees. So like our family was following, they will preach entire Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, and moksha is insignificant. After moksha, there is Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate aim of life. So everything is very nice. Krishna is the ultimate aim of life. Moksha, liberation is just insignificant. It is coming out of jail. Everything is good. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Everything is nice. Chant the holy names of Krishna. And then finally, they tell, I am Krishna. I am Lord Chaitanya. I am Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So finally they will drop this final statement that yes, everything is good, but I am Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he did not give association to women. So now I have come in this form to give association specifically to women. So this is my special incarnation in this age. So I'll make many women sannyasis and give them my mercy and association. And then because I am Krishna, I have right to do Ras Leela also. So I'll purify them by dancing with them. So in this way, Prabhupada tells any person who is declaring himself as Krishna, he is the most degraded person. Because next conclusion is, if I am Krishna, then I will do Ras Leela. That is the topmost perfection of spiritual life. And in this way, their character is very bad. Very bad. So in this way, one's spiritual life is finished. So poor devotee is trying to take shelter, or he is also a devotee. He is also chanting the name, but then finally, it is great danger. One's spiritual life is lost. So thus, and it is very difficult to figure out. You'll find they'll be chanting Hare Krishna mantra only. They'll be chanting Krishna's name, Radharani's name, everything they will chant. But finally, their understanding is you are also Krishna, I am also Krishna. By chanting, we will realize that we are Krishna, we are Shiva. Everything is same. You worship anybody, worship anything, you will attain the same result. There are no different individualities. Just like the sun is reflected in pot. In pot also you see sun, correct? But it does not mean there are many suns. They are reflections only. Similarly, all these forms that we are seeing around us, these are reflections. There is no individuality. There is only one existence. And he is Krishna, or he is Brahma, or he is Shiva, or he is whatever you call it. Because there is no duality. There is only one existence. So very dangerous philosophies. So although hearing is the foundation of all the activities, the hearing should never be done from non-devotee. Such hearing is Mayavadi Bhashya Shunile Hoy Sarvanash. Such hearing can destroy. So one should be very, very careful about this. So hearing bhajans from them, hearing kirtans and this thing, it destroys. And this is a verdict of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. Unlimited references of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are there. So it is not that out of envy we want to criticize anybody, no. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the topmost devotee, his verdict. The topmost devotee, Mirabai, she approves. Oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Personality. So only a devotee can understand who is Supreme Person. Sant Tukaram, he followed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He, in Maharashtra, he is very, very famous. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu initiated him. So in this way, the great devotees recognized him. They took his shelter. So the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is telling, Mayavadi Bhashya Shunle. So we should never be very casual about hearing. Oh, he is also a famous person. See his bhava, see his emotion. Actually, we do not know anything. I was so fool that when I was following this other guru, so we understood that, okay, this Krishna is supreme. So we have to sing and chant Krishna's name to go back to him. This I understood. So this other guru, he was also singing Krishna's bhajan. I told, okay, let me go in their company. We have to sing Krishna bhajans anyway. But then finally, they also tell that I am Krishna. So when I was hearing Prabhupada's lectures, so I was thinking, oh, I was so fool, such a great fool. So I was thinking that this other person, when I was following that previous guru, see, my guru is more advanced. I was little bit in touch with, Prabhupada, because other Prabhu who brought me, he was trying to make me hear the lectures. So I told, but your guru does not smile. How is he spiritually advanced? My guru, see, he's always smiling. Anywhere he goes, he's smiling. This is spiritual life, no? Always smiling. And then when I actually started hearing Prabhupada's lecture, then one day I heard Prabhupada's lecture. Prabhupada is telling that nothing is, something is good, something is bad, this is all illusion. So I told, yes, this I also know, everything is perception. Yes. Some people tell this is good, this is bad. It is actually our perception. So Prabhupada tells this is good, this is bad, this is not right. Then Prabhupada tells everything is bad. I don't know what is this. This is new perception. Why is he so pessimistic? A spiritual life is optimism, no? Oh, everything is good. You tell that you are good, I am good, you are good, the world is good. And what is this guru? He's telling everything is bad. This hardcore pessimism. So where is joy here in the spiritual life? He's telling everything is bad. And then further Prabhupada tells, I think in the same lecture Prabhupada told, unless somebody is completely pessimistic about this world, he cannot make spiritual advancement. What is this? Spiritual life means optimism, no? I am good, you are also good, he is good, she is good, everyone is good, this world is a good place. Let me live here always. Why you are thinking it is bad? So that is why Guru Sadhu Shastra. Why people get cheated? Because they don't refer to Shastra. Then Prabhupada, one disciple asked Prabhupada, but Prabhupada, some people tell this world is very good. I am very happy. So Prabhupada tells he's a crazy man. Why crazy? Because Krishna is telling this world is dukhalayam. It is full of misery, and somebody tells I am happy. That means he's crazy. So I told, yes, it makes sense. When Krishna has told this world is full of misery and somebody is telling, oh, there is so much happiness here, then he's crazy. Because Krishna has declared there is no happiness. So when we are fools, we don't understand. So artificially we think we have some our own interpretation of spiritual life. Spiritual life means keep on smiling. Madman is also smiling. Small child is also smiling. Somebody gives poison, smilingly it is poison. Foolish kid is unaware. So that smile is smile of ignorance. But such smile does not last. Because Maya will show, Mama Maya Duratyaya. Maya will not allow you to continue this smile. So yes, this is fact. If you read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna does not motivate, rather Krishna demotivates. Krishna is telling Dukhalyam, Anityam Asukham Loke. This world is temporary, it is full of miseries. So in this manner, unless we are advanced, we cannot actually judge. Rather, as one senior devotee was explaining, when he visited one of the chief priests of the four sampradayas. So this spiritual life, the Vaishnavas, actual spiritual life should be understood through four sampradayas of Vaishnavas, bona fide sampradaya. But unfortunately, the sampradayas also are not able to maintain the purity. So he went to this priest who is one of the chief priests of the four sampradaya, worshipping one of the most prominent temples of India. And in his house, he found a very big, very beautiful picture of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, and along with him, equally big picture of a person who tells that I am incarnation of Krishna. And we know that he is an ordinary person. He was not having proper character. He was smoking. He was taking non-veg, making others eat non-veg also. and then he is proclaimed as Supreme Personality. So it was very shocking that how the deviation has come in the four sampradayas also. So that's it is not easy. This is called neophyte. Neophyte means even though who are devotees, who are Kanishta Adhikaris, neophytes, they also cannot make out who is Supreme Lord, who is devotee, who is non-devotee. So this person, chief priest, he has got knowledge. He has got picture of Supreme Lord, but he does not know that who is actually Supreme Lord. Anybody he will take as Supreme Lord. So a person of low character, he is putting on equal status as Lord Vishnu. So Ishvara tad adhineshu balisheshu dushatstu cha prema matri kripa upeksha. So only one who is on intermediate platform can actually make out who is Supreme Lord. Others will be confused. Supreme Lord, they will tell he is ordinary person, just a yogi. Ordinary person, they will tell he is supreme, he is God. They will not be able to understand who is a pure devotee, who is innocent. They will tell devotee is pessimistic. They will tell Mayavadi is a pure devotee. He is advanced person. So thus one has to be very, very careful. One has to be very sincere, serious. So only from Vaishnavas, not from here, not by external features. Yes, the Mayavadis also sing very nice bhajans. Mayavadis also will be sattvic. No doubt, they would be very sattvic. Because Mayavadi impersonalists are very high on Sattva-guna. It is a fact, although they are not completely purified. So there are some genuine impersonalists whose character may not be bad, but still because they are non-devotees of Krishna, they want to become God. Their association is very poisonous, very fatal to our spiritual life. So they may show very good character. Their senses will be controlled. Their mind would be controlled. Their speech will be controlled. And they will also get a glimpse of ecstasy of chanting the holy names. Sometimes it is practice, as people, sometimes they shed tears by singing mundane songs also, Some song of patriotic fervor they will sing, they will start crying. Some song of separation they will sing, they will cry. So sometimes people practice also crying, singing the names of Lord. So sometimes the tears come out of practice. But sometimes they have a glimpse. But it is just abhas, just a glimpse. It is nowhere near the ecstasy which devotees get while chanting the holy names. But we will see that they are getting ecstasy. But one should not get misled by they will be very gentle because they are sattvic. Their etiquettes will be very good. Their brahmacharya could be extremely strong. They may have all the good qualities, but goodness is also binding force in this material world. Because they are non-devotees, their association is not. Prakashan and Saraswati, his followers, they were very much advanced. They were very, very austere, sleeping on the floor. So this is what actually impersonalism, they recommend. Very strong tapasya. They would sleep on the floor without any beddings. They would take bath strictly 3 times in a day. And so many strong fastings, other tapasya they would do. But still does not qualify them as devotees. And hearing of Krishna Katha or any spiritual knowledge from them should be avoided. This is the verdict of Lord Chaitanya and the verdict of all the great devotees and verdict of the scriptures. So it is not that, oh, your cult is telling, Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Sanatan Goswami is telling, where? No. So that is why Nana Shastra Vicharana Eka Nipuna. Whatever Sanatan Goswami has explained or the Goswamis, other devotees, acharyas, they tell us it is from the scriptures. So this is from Padma Puran or Vishnu Puran, this shloka. Avaishnava mukhodgirnam putam hari kathamritam. It is from the scriptures. Avaishnava, one who is not a devotee, mukhodgirnam hari kathamritam shravanam naiva kartavyam. Who is not a pure devotee, never hear from him. This is the verdict of the scriptures. So thus one should be very, very careful about it. Otherwise it is sarpo chishtha yathapayaha. Drinking the milk which has been tasted by a serpent, it will act as poison to our spiritual consciousness. So one should be very, very careful. Once we have ascertained what is right source, then it does not matter. We are understanding, we are not able to understand. We are appreciating their spiritual quality, we are not able to appreciate. It does not matter. Simply, if we have ascertained the source nicely, we should simply keep on hearing and then understanding the taste, everything will come gradually. Another very important point which is mentioned in this verse is Vara Kuru Nisargana Mahinam Amritam Yatha. It is dangerous to give benedictions to demons who are by nature ferocious and jealous. So we saw one quality of demons, that is, they don't follow the rules and regulations of the scriptures. That is the main quality which makes a demon demon. Another thing is they are very jealous. So this jealousy is the specific property of it is demoniac quality. And that is the difference Srila Prabhupada explains between material world and spiritual world. So we can test for ourselves whether we are in material world or spiritual world, depending on how much jealous I am of others. What is called jealousy? I cannot see others progressing, making advancement. That is called jealousy. Or in simple words, I am not happy seeing anybody. Then it means I am jealous. Opposite of jealousy is love. I become very happy seeing the other person. So that is why it is Vaishnava Prar not to become happy by seeing other Vaishnavas. So it is very important that no unhappiness, I should rather become very happy seeing other Vaishnavas. So if I am not convenient in somebody's company, then that means I am envious of that person. So I can see how much I am having envy in this world, how much I am inconvenienced by other people. That means I am having, and how much I love people. That means I am advancing, I am in Vaikuntha. So those who are in spiritual world, there is no cause of jealousy. And thus this Bhagavatam, understanding who is a devotee, who is a non-devotee, can only be understood, the message of Bhagavatam, by those people who are nirmassaranam, who are completely free of envy. Otherwise, they cannot understand Bhagavatam. This is mentioned in the second verse of the Bhagavatam itself. Paramo nirmassaranam satam vedyam vastavam astravastu shivadam tapatraya unmulanam. Simply, if one understands Bhagavatam, the threefold miseries will be uprooted. But this Bhagavatam cannot be understood unless one is completely freed of envy. And what is the specific symptom of envy in this material world? That also Prabhupada explains in the purport of the second verse. The specific symptom of envy is competition. Why there is competition here? I cannot see others doing more than me. I may not need that much, but still I cannot see others doing more than me. So I want to compete. I want to show off. I want to show off to others. I am more than you. So that is why this society of competition is created. There is no competition when there is love. Competition only happens when there is jealousy, when there is envy. So thus the devotees don't compete with the materialists. The time is very less in this material world. And that is why great festivals have been created. They have been celebrated so that we can understand their message, that this lifespan is very, very short. Anytime death can happen. So before death happens, we have to make our spiritual life perfect by perfecting our devotional service. So there is no time to be wasted in competition. Happiness, distress in life is fixed, that nobody can avoid. So without wasting any moment for competition, for this temporary lifespan, what shall we do? Even if we become so-called very successful, even agreeing you are changing your destiny, death will happen, everything will go away, and I will continue in another body. So in this life, I should try to finish this business. So save time. Entire society is wasting time, entire life from birth till death person is competing. Initially they compete directly till retirement. After retirement, they compete through their children. Now you study more. Then through their grandchildren. So competition never ends. So we should try to save our time, just maintain ourselves, and then engage very nicely in chanting, hearing, preaching. And then very soon we will see that we are able to Shushusho Shraddhadhanasya Vasudev Katharuchi Syan Mahassevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. When we find a pure devotee, engage in his service, then great taste develops in hearing Krishna Katha. And when taste develops, then we advance very nicely, very perfectly. So let us avoid this demoniac quality, Ahinam Amritam Yatha, this snake-like behavior of jealousy, and then we'll be able to advance very nicely. With this, we will end. Any questions? Yes. 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 So the question is, we understand the Gaudiya Vaishnavism philosophy also with the help of logics analogies. And Mayavadis, the impersonalists also, they give logics and analogies. And on its own, both of them appear to be having merit. Now a person may get confused, a layman, which is right philosophy, because both of them appear to be convincing, appear to be logical. So what to speak of Mayavadis? Even materialism appears to be logical. That is why one stream of philosophy is there by Charvak. Vidam kritva gritam pivet. Yavat jive sukham jivet. He's telling, beg, borrow, and steal, drink ghee, and live very nicely. Yavat jivet. As long as you live, do nice sense gratification. Beg, borrow, or steal. Oh, but then I have to, it is told in scriptures that I have to come back and return whatever I borrowed in the next life. So he tells, Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya. You see, on your death, Bhasmi bhutasya. The body is burnt into ashes. Kuta punaragamano bhavet. Who has seen coming back? Nobody comes back. Body is burnt to ashes. So beg, borrow, or steal, do unlimited sense gratification. So logically, he has established there is thesis on sense gratification. That how sense gratification is the ultimate aim of life. And people get convinced. So thus, if we are not intelligent, we will get convinced by anything. So that is why it is told in Mahabharat 1 par, Tarko Pratishta Shrutayo Vibhinna. So thus, logics are meant for less intelligent people, analogies Prabhupada tells. Intelligent people, they go for references. They go for Vedic scriptures, where is authority. So any intelligent person will reject the path of logic immediately. Those who are less intelligent, logics are for them. Because any intelligent man will understand that my logic is simply my perception. As Prabhupada gives very nice example of logic. What example Prabhupada gives? You put salt in any nice dish and you think, oh, this is so tasty. By putting little salt, let me put so much of salt in it, entire jar of salt, it will become more tasty. Oh, that's foolishness. It may appear to be logical, but this is illogical. So in a similar fashion, any person who is intelligent, who is wise, he will understand my logics are, they are my perceptions. That may not be factual reality. I can never depend upon my logic. For a child, going to school is most illogical. My parents are foolish. Apparently, they are grown up, they don't understand. Unnecessarily, they push me to studies every day. Small child is not able, for him, it is illogical. Not able to understand how going to school is. He is not able to see, I have a future. I have to raise money. I have to maintain myself. Not able to see. Doesn't strike his logic. So that is why any intelligent person will understand. Logic of animals, very wonderfully, Shankaracharya only has given. How the animals are convinced. The fish is convinced, if only I get that worm of the bait, I'll be happy, I'll enjoy. And fish loses its life. Fish was logically convinced. If I go there, I'll be happy. Moth was convinced, if I jump into fire, I'll be happy. And their conviction led them to death. So thus any intelligent person will tell this intelligence is so dangerous. Every night, logically I am convinced I am living in reality. Yes? Yes or no? My logics convince me every night. Whole night I am cheated day after day by my logics. That yes, this is reality, this is fact. And only do I realize on waking up, I was so fool what I was thinking. So I understand my mind is cheating me, my intelligence is cheating me. How can I rely upon this intelligence? I do so many calculation mistakes. I have mistake committing tendency. So how can I rely upon this mind? these logics. So only those who are less intelligent, they depend upon logics and research. Those who are intelligent, they understand, no, my mind has got limitations. How much ever ant may apply its intelligence, can ant understand our mathematics, our science? Cannot. So why am I so proud? I'm not even ant in the cosmic scale. And I'm trying to understand the cosmos, the creator of cosmos. Am I so proud? If ant thinks, I will tomorrow understand differential calculus. The leader of the ants may try for eternity, they will not understand. Why am I so confident I'll understand God? I'll understand absolute truth using my logic. So only for the fools the path of logic is meant. Intelligent people, they ask, please give me reference. Is there any perfect source of knowledge which is coming from Creator? Otherwise, there is no chance of understanding the life, the aim of life, the existence perfectly. So thus Prabhupada tells intelligent people, they ask for evidence. Evidence which is coming from the Creator, because that is the only way. The only way of knowing about Father is asking Mother. If Mother is not there, there is no chance of knowing who the Father is. Only chance is Mother. So that is why Shrutayo in one parvit is mentioned. Tarko Pratishta Shrutayo Vibhinna Mahajanayena Gatha Sapanta. Why you are applying logic? Even we have to be successful in any competitive examination, we don't apply logics, correct? We see a person who is successful and then we follow in his footsteps. So thus Mahajana, those people who are very perfect, most perfect in spiritual life, we follow their footsteps. So thus most perfect materialists, most perfect impersonalists, they have become devotees. But most perfect devotee has never become materialist, has never become impersonalist. That means higher than the material pleasure, the most successful materialist, higher than the impersonalistic pleasure, is the pleasure of devotional service. That is the topmost perfection. The ultimate Atma Ramascha Munayo. So we have to follow their footsteps of such great personalities who have got liberation from the laws of nature. So simply if we follow their path, that is the most perfect path. And all such great personalities, their names are mentioned in the Vedas, Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, and their path is devotional service to Krishna. So thus we go for Vedic evidence, we go for references, and when it comes to discussing on Vedic references, evidences, it is very clear. The conclusion is devotional service. Yeah. 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 So the question which is asked is, in our case, we are told to depend on the mercy of Guru and Krishna to follow the vows of spiritual life, especially brahmacharya, which is most tough to follow. And if you follow that, spiritual life is very easy. But they are able to follow brahmacharya simply by self-determination. So how they are able to do that? They are able to achieve that. So answer is no. There also the process is same. This is what is explained in Bhagavatam in the scriptures. What is the verse? Mahat sevam dwara mahur vimukte tamo dwaram yoshitam sangi sangam mahantaste samachitta prashanta vimanyava surida sadhavoye. By engaging in the service of Mahatmas, the doors to liberation are wide open. And then it is explained, Mahatmas are of two kinds. So they are also great souls, because they are also trying to get rid from the repeated birth and death, from the materialism. So they are also great souls. Not as great, nowhere as great as devotees, but they are also considered great. So there are two kinds of Mahatmas, impersonalists and devotees. Although their objectives are different in life, but it is mentioned, Prabhupada writes in translation itself, but the path is almost similar. And what is the path?
Mahat sevam dwaram ahor vimukte. Mahat seva. The path is engaging in the service of Mahatma, great soul. So they also have to find another great impersonalist and engage in his service. And then by his mercy, they are able to attain that platform. So that is required in both cases. Sorry, yeah. Yes. 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 What to do? Yes. So we heard that Harikatha should not be heard from non-devotees, should be heard from pure devotees. But then, what about the gray scale? Somebody who is not pure devotee and not a materialist also. What about them? As is the case with most of the devotees we hear from. And pure devotional platform, Mahabhagavat is very rare platform. So why we are hearing from other devotees, or what should be the criteria? So thus Prabhupada explains, if like Prabhupada has got many disciples, and we hear from Prabhupada's disciples also. So when should we hear? What should be the criteria? So Prabhupada tells, if the disciple is sincere, then it will have the same effect. So thus we should try to hear from the sincere devotees. So if we try to hear from the sincere devotees, it will have the same effect. And that is a word of Prabhupada. And because Prabhupada has given word, Krishna makes sure that it will happen. The same potency will be revealed. So the question is, in other sampradayas, there have been pure devotees, but now the devotees who are repeating. So will the same effect be there if any sampradaya, a sincere devotee is there? If he is authorized by a spiritual master to speak, the effect would be same, but he should be authorized. So that is why in the institution, if we hear from the devotees who are authorized to speak, then it will have the effect. So the principle is same. In sampradaya of any pure devotee, the speaker is authorized by the pure devotee to speak, then it will have the same effect. Yes. Krishna mentioned he warned Brahma. Yes, yes. 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 One has to? Hmm. 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 Okay, the question is, so Krishna has told Brahma, do not give benedictions to demons. But if demon has done so much austerity that he has reached that threshold where benediction is supposed to come, Brahma is bound to give. So no, that is why it does not happen like this. So in worship the devatas, it is not about threshold. It is always a personal affair. When the person is sufficiently pleased by your austerity, then he will give. That is why Lord Shiva. So their threshold is very less. Why? Because he gets disturbed. I am meditating on Lord Krishna. You are disturbing. Take it and run away. Don't disturb me. So it is never a threshold. It is always about pleasure of personalities. It's a personal process. Hmm. So the question is, we should not hear from non-devotees. So how do I identify that here is a pure devotee, here is non-devotee? Or yeah, or disciple, or proper system he's coming, parampara. How do I make out? So thus one needs to have certain knowledge, basic knowledge. So if I have to purchase gold ring, I should at least go to a jewelry shop. I should not go to Sabji Mandi and ask him, give me a gold ring. He will give eggplant and tell, okay, take this gold. So yes, it is very important question. That is why it is told that Guru Sadhu Shastra. As we are discussing, if when we go to coaching, let's say I have to go to physics coaching, so some knowledge of physics should be there to understand who is a good teacher. I have no knowledge at all, then I have no means to know. That is why this knowledge was given from the very beginning. So thus one can understand the qualities of a pure devotee, and whatever we are discussing, it is given in the scriptures. So from scriptures, one can identify. By hearing, one can identify who is a pure devotee. And actually, who is a pure devotee is simply repeating the instructions of Krishna. So instructions of Krishna are given very clearly. One who repeats, then he is his representative. One who interprets, he is not. So basic knowledge is required. Not for common man, it is not possible. Yes. Yes, for common man, everything is. Yes. 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 There is fortune required. So yeah, so two levels are there. One who is very, very ignorant, for him fortune is required. Nothing can be done. Just like a small child cannot choose which school to go. Somebody is fortunate, parents sent him to good school. Somebody is fortunate, parents gave him nutritious food. Some parents gave him uncle chips, eat it. He got cancer by the time. I mean, can we tell on YouTube about some brand? I do not know, but I'm just giving example. Any packaged food is not good for health. So small child cannot make out what is healthy, what is nutritious. So it is he is dependent. When the child grows up, he can know, oh, this is nutritious, this is good, this is harmful, this is full of chemicals, this is full of pesticide. Then he can decide. So for a person who is ignorant, for layman, there is no chance, but good fortune. And thus we have to give them good fortune by active preaching, distributing books, distributing prasadam, harinam, making them fortunate. And another thing is, one has to be very, very sincere. If one is very sincere about knowing truth, nothing happens by chance. Then Krishna is there in the heart, he will guide him. If one is very sincere, very eager, what is truth? I want to understand, I want to have perfect knowledge, I want perfect spiritual master, then Krishna will guide. Yes. Those who are hearing from folk residency can please carry on. We'll continue for a while more answering the questions. Yes. Yeah. Hmm. 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 So the question is, if that sadhu is dhamvasi, then what to do? Should we hear or not? So that is why it is the etiquette. When we go to dham, we should offer respect to everybody, but it does not mean we will associate with them. So one is born in dham, it does not mean that he will be paramhansa. Because they are born in dham, if they die in dham, that is great fortune. And if they have committed sinful activities, they may have to take birth as animal and then they will be liberated. But we are not supposed to take their actions, their activities, their behavior. So that is why Narottam Das Thakur, he has rather prohibited. There is no need to go to dham now in this Kali Yuga because it is full of non-devotees. Earlier only devotees would go to dham, but now it is full of impersonalists, non-devotees. Devotees are difficult to find even in dham. But then Prabhupada tells, so that has been spoken of in a context that because the dham is full of materialists, it might be difficult to access. Wherever you chant and hear about Krishna, that place is dham. But nevertheless, dhams have potency. So when you go to dham, be careful, don't associate with anybody, but try to find a pure devotee and hear from him. So thus, if a person is living in dham, does not mean that he is all perfect in knowledge. They also, rather, most of them are Mayavadis only in dham also. Devotees are rare. Yes. Second. Yes. Fourth. Yes. 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 So the question is that deity worship is meant for neophytes, and that is fourth stage. That is called archanam. And then preaching is meant for advanced devotees. So where is preaching? This kirtanam is preaching, or that sakhyam also we discussed, that is also preaching. So what is preaching? So that is why it is told there is overlap in these items. So preaching is also sakhyam and preaching is also kirtanam. And kirtanam is also various kinds. So the kirtan that we are doing, Nam Sankirtan, anybody can do. But advanced form of Sankirtan, that anybody cannot do. And mainly Nam Sankirtan is stressed for us, but there is Sankirtan of qualities, there is Sankirtan of other things also. That is preaching Krishna consciousness. That unless a person has done Nam Sankirtan nicely, he cannot do. So that is advanced stage of Kirtan. So thus there is overlapping. That is also Kirtan, this is also Kirtan. That is also uh, Sakhyam. Sakhyam is preaching and Kirtanam is also preaching. Yes. Okay, so how do I understand this? Yes. So this deity worship, as we understand, first of all, Harinam Diksha is given. So when we serve Harinam nicely by chanting and hearing, then one becomes capable to take Brahman Diksha, and then one can do Archanam. So first Shravanam Kirtanam has happened nicely, then one does Archanam. And that is also neophyte. This thing. So thus there are various bands. And as we understand, it is not always stages, it is type also. There is a Parikshit Maharaj, we cannot tell that he is a neophyte devotee less than Archanam. No. So all these stages can lead one to perfection also. But there are stages also in this. They both convey very nicely. Yes? Yes. Online questions? Is making joke of God brothers aprad? Yes, aprad. One should not do it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, in some ashram, everything is okay. Whatever comes in mind, either sense gratification or laughing, they also give path for liberation. Is that also Mayavadi?
Can you please repeat?
In some ashram, everything is alright. जो भी mind में आया वो भी कर सकते हैं, हंसने का मन हुआ हंस भी सकते हैं.
Acha, ashram means ashram of spiritual organization. Yes. Everything is okay, they tell. Yes. Yes. Yes.
But वो बोलते कि liberate हो जाएंगे.
हाँ.
ये मायावादी है कि क्या है?
This is nonsense. So the question is, in some ashramas they practice. Whatever is coming in your mind, you do. You feel like laughing, you laugh. You feel like smiling, you smile. You feel like shouting, you shout. So this is craziness. Human life is meant for control. That is the difference between man and animal. Animal cannot control. Human life can control. Human can regulate. So that is why all this is going on in the name of ashram and spiritual life. Ashram means so many rules and regulations. Brahmachari ashram, Vanprastha ashram, Grahastha ashram, Sannyas ashram. Ashram means rules and regulations. That is the beginning. So we'll finish. Granth Ra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki